From where you are right now, how do you compare on track this season compared to last season at this point?
Well, much more enjoyable. Last year we had a car that was bouncing like crazy, so my back and my neck and my feelings were coming out. It was like they weren't really, but it was bouncing so much last year. So we're in a much in a better position in that sense. But I think performance-wise, we're not where we want to be. But I think the team has a really great mentality right now. We're just keeping our heads down. We're chasing. We know we're not the fastest at the moment, and we can't fight for wins at the moment. But we're working towards that.
How is your back? Like, we can joke about it, but your back took a beating last season. Like,
Yeah.
how is it now
It's
after
good.
time? Is it
It's
fine
good. Yeah,
now?
I've been working on it. I've been doing a lot of yoga and Pilates and a lot of. I did a lot of recovery last year, and just strengthening up those areas. And I feel amazing. Honestly, I feel the best I've felt that I can remember feeling. So
At 38, you can say that you
mm,
feel the best now that you've felt in a long
yeah,
time.
I would
What's your
imagine part of
secret?
that is just like year on year being plant based as well. You get better at understanding the foods, and diet just is better than ever as well. And so that's why you see it in my skin.
Skin's amazing. We'll go with that. I was gonna say, what's your secret? Tell me what's the skincare line? Like, tell me all your secrets.
No, I can't tell you my secrets.
Fine, be that way. Be mean.
But
Um,
I do moisturize. I have the whole ritual in the morning of cleaning my skin, moisturizing before I go to bed, and naturally I'm training, up to twice a day. So I'm having to do that multiple times in a day. But just I drink a lot of water. I drink 4 liters a day because I'm training. I wouldn't say if I wasn't training that I would have 4 liters, but and then I eat a lot of greens. I have a lot of protein shakes and
the whole thing.
yeah.
When you do train twice a day, how do you break up what it is that you're doing and when?
It really depends on schedule. So, for example, Monday was my day off after the last race, but I didn't really use it as a day off. I did a 12K run in the morning, and then was on Zooms all afternoon, and then in the evening did another hour and a half workout in the gym, and that was muscle build, like strength work. As where today, for example, I was running at 6:30 this morning, like a 10K run, and then I got back. I had the kind of the summit that we did. As soon as I got back, then I did. It was all core strengthening, glutes and hip flexors, all that kind of working around the middle area. And it just really depends like what you've got coming up. Like I wouldn't want to do leg day 2 days before I get in the car,
Right.
because then you got noodle legs, So
No one wants
yeah.
noodle legs. As an athlete who is obviously motivated by competition or constantly pushing yourself to the next level, is there another event, sport? Like, sometimes we hear Jimmy Johnson ran the Boston Marathon. Is there something like that that you would like to do sometime?
In terms of like a marathon or
Or
like.
a sporting event, something else that would push your body to a different
Yeah, I
extreme?
mean, I'd love to do an Ironman one day. I want to climb Mount Everest. Um, what else? I've tried MotoGP. I'd love to get out in a NASCAR again. I enjoyed that last time. Um, I'd love to cross over and do some training with. Now I'm part of the Broncos. I'd love to go and train with the squad there. And yeah, I think always tapping into something new. Like I do Muay Thai boxing, for example. I skydive, I surf. I like just mixing it up. I play squash. I like to do different things, just because otherwise it's boring if you're just in the gym the whole time. So, and then just having that report, like a competition with your friends in the gym, or whether it's doing one of the other sports, I think is always healthy for the mind.
How does it help you stay motivated in your day job?
Doing all these
Doing
other
the other
things.
things. How does it help stay motivated when you're in the car?
Well, I don't really lack motivation in the car, so that's just I'm super competitive, and yeah, it's in my DNA, so that's not an issue. I think it's being able to detach from. If you don't have these other things, then you just tunnel vision focused on one thing, and you can just miss so many of the great things that are happening in the world. And I think it's so important to try and find a balance between work life and your social life, and family, and so if you can click that right balance, then you're happier in your job and you're able to excel more. And so I try to arrive at my job less stressed, as hard as that is with everything we all go through. But yeah, like I always make sure I take time for me.
So, for so many years, you were the one being chased. Now that in a lot of ways you're doing the chasing, or the team is doing the chasing, has it impacted your perspective on your years of domination?
Not really. I think I lived in a time where the first 2 years I was competing. I nearly won the championship in my first year in 2007. I lost it by 1 point. I won it by 1 point in my second year. Then I went through a drought of bad cars, poor performances, reliability issues for almost 6 years. In that time, we Red Bull dominated for 4 of those years, and basically what happens is that if you don't have the car, your perspective shifts a little bit, your focus shifts a little bit into what you got to work on. Then I joined this team, and everyone in the world basically that was commenting on my decision said it was the worst decision I could have ever made. My career's over, but I knew what was right for me, and I truly believed in this team, as I still do today, that they'd had the right mentality. They had I think I had the good. It's always good and well to say you had the foresight, but I knew that this team was going to go somewhere, and I knew that I could do something with them. And we won 8 team-wide titles. We've had 2 difficult years, and I think it's actually been. You can't always win, and I think it's been really great for us as a team to experience this tough time. It's mean we've had to pull together. We've had this struggle. People have had difficult times. We've all lifted each other up, and we arrive here, I think, today, whilst we've won these championships in the past, I think through this struggle we've learned the most.
I want to talk about the movie. What made you want to do a movie?
I love movies. I love TV. I've always been really fascinated by the art of filmmaking. Always wanted to try and understand and learn more about it. I've been also going through a period of time, I'm on the latter part of my career, but I still have plenty of time left. But I'm on that, the second part of it, and I've been really trying to focus on other things that I love, that when I stop here, I can move on to, and it's going to be totally fine. And so, fashion is an area that I love. I love being in the fashion world. I started a production company in the first movie, which is pretty hardcore, because I don't know where you go from doing a Formula 1 movie with Brad Pitt, but that's, I love, we've got an amazing team. Brad is obviously our lead character. We've got Damson Idris. We've got a great crew, and I'm able to be I'm learning so much from Joe and Jerry and Brad through the whole writing process, and I'm able to play a real role. Like we're on calls going through the scripts every week, so it's fascinating, and I really do want to utilize. I want Donna Polo to be creating opportunities for some unheard voices out there. I really want to make my job. I think my role within this film that we're doing is really making sure that it is diverse. More often than not, you don't have a diverse crew in the background. From all the directors at the top is perhaps not, and also on screen. I want to make sure it represents Formula 1 as it should be in the future, because we're working towards being a more diverse and inclusive sport. More women should be involved here. So in the movie, you will see more women in the roles that they should be in. You will see people of color that are also involved in it. So it's going to be great.
I can't wait to see it. Okay, the last question I have for you, which just stands on its own. In terms of every race weekend, describe for me the role that an engineer has on your performance, and why it's so important to have the best engineers in place for your team.
Well, there's a lot of engineers, and there are, we have, I think, there's, in terms of engineers here, we must have there's probably at least 50 here. Then there's another 50 or so back at the factory in the mission control room that are live with us, watching what's happening here, helping us churn through the data. I think it's, from a driver's perspective, I have 2 immediate engineers that are helping me navigate the settings of the car, setup wise, all the electronic controls. And geez, yeah, it takes a huge collaboration for us to get this thing moving. It's not a car you can just get in and switch on. I've got almost 100 different settings. Then there's over 1,000 settings on my steering wheel. So, and then setup-wise, there's over 1,000 different things you can change. So, there's a lot of preparation work. There's a lot of data to go through. We were on the simulator on Tuesday. There's no time for rest, really. And it's really about how we can get the car working in a perfect window, and that's a real road of discovery.